We always talk about going out with a bang and not a thud. Mm-hmm. So, and we will be doing that because this final season is taking us everywhere.
I am absolutely loving this final season of This Is Us so far. It is so good. I'm like, I want to see it end, but I don't want to see it end, as I'm sure you probably feel the same way.
I know. Yes. I mean, I literally probably every other day we're like, are you sure there's not a spinoff? Are we sure there's not a season 7? Is somebody joking? But at the same time, I know that every good thing, must come to an end. And we always talk about going out with a bang and not a thud. Mm-hmm. So, and we will be doing that because this final season is taking us everywhere, all through space and time. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, when you read the script, were you just as shocked as everybody else when you found out that Kate and Philip got together? And how early on did you know that she and Toby weren't going to make it? I mean, hearts crushed.
It was last year, the beginning of our 5th season. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? And Kris and I always joke, we're like, well, wasn't it going to be Beth and Randall? So it had to be someone, right? We have to see sort of the unraveling of a relationship and what that means. And with the writers who I luckily have had a chance to write with, I co-wrote an episode 9. Nice. We were talking about that relationships are we grow so much from them, and the people are so instrumental in our evolution, but it doesn't mean that there are forever people. And that's so difficult because Toby and Kate are just this amazing couple who have put themselves back together over and over together. And it's such a beautiful journey to see. But then at the same time, people grow and they grow in different ways and take different journeys. And so it's hard to imagine them not together. And it's like, who is this new guy? And he's still in Kate's phone as the mean jerk. What is Kate thinking? I'm sure people are like, what is wrong with her? But we'll come to find, that neither Toby or Kate are wrong or right. They're just sort of growing apart. Yeah. And I think that's such a beautiful way to, we always see these like very tumultuous endings of relationships. And we're going to see that these are two people that love each other desperately, but just aren't meant to be together forever. And it doesn't have to be terrible all the time. You can understand each other's perspective. So yeah, we're going to go through that whole journey of the new and the old. So
yeah, so we're going to see like their co-parenting and things like that, and maybe what the future has in store for Toby as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can't wait to see that. But I'm starting to warm up to Philip a little bit. Like I you're starting to see why Kate may have fell for him in certain aspects.
Yes. He is. I mean, Chris Gear, who is, it's like Kris, and Chrissy, like we're this trifecta, but he's such a wonderful, of course, actor, but also person. And he's like, I know this is going to be tricky for you, and I'm here for you every step of the way. And I'm like, oh. But yeah, well, we do see this sort of like underlying charm, and aside from his very dry English, wit, he's very sweet, and we'll get to see all that.
I know that you said one of your proudest moments is when you were able to afford a car. So can you tell me about that and how buying a car is easier than one may think right now?
Yeah, of course. For me, a car meant freedom. It meant accessibility. And of course, living in Los Angeles and pursuing acting, you have to have a car. The auditions are every single which away. And so it was like, okay, I'm going to need a car. Like I just am going to need a car. And luckily it provided opportunity to get me to the place I am today. Thank you. I'm very grateful for that. And that's why I'm pairing, with Capital One Auto Navigator, because it just makes so much sense to be able to get on your phone and literally find specifically what kind of car you would like, whether it's a particular, leather or a color. And then also just being able to pre-qualify and figure out the financing and without it pinging your credit score. And then you get to the dealership. So you really get to have a good time with the test drive, as opposed to, sort of the daunting process and the scary process of like, am I going to be able to afford a car? And I know that so many people feel that way, because I know I did. And still, it's like, what to expect, So it's just, it's a great, and it's super accessible. It's user friendly, and it's just easier than ever. So